Okay, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a massive hidden bottleneck that's quietly stalling some of the most ambitious corporate plans out there. And no, it's not about strategy, it's not about tech, it's a talent crisis, but probably not the one you're thinking of. Let's dig in. And that's not just hyperbole, believe me. This one single issue is becoming a major roadblock for so many companies. But here's the thing, it goes way deeper than just a simple hiring gap. What we're really talking about is a fundamental, structural problem in how businesses are built to operate. And getting your head around this is absolutely key to understanding where the whole business world is heading. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start by defining this hidden crisis and get into why it's blowing up right now. Then, we'll pinpoint exactly where the biggest gaps are. Look at the very real risks of just, well, doing nothing. And finally, we'll lay out a roadmap for how to flip this whole challenge into a massive competitive advantage.
Okay, so let's get to it. The hidden talent crisis. What is this really about? Well, I can tell you what it's not about. It's not about just hiring a few more people to churn out sustainability reports. No, this is about a hunt for an entirely new kind of professional.
And that new kind of professional, we call them hybrid talent. Think of them as people who are fluent in two different languages. On one hand, they speak the language of sustainability, ESG. But on the other, they are completely fluent in core business functions, like finance, operations, you name it. They don't just get the what of ESG, they get the how to actually make it happen within the messy real-world constraints of a business. And this is where it gets really interesting, when you see the contrast. You've got your traditional sustainability expert, right? They're often siloed off in their own department, focused on compliance, writing reports. But then you have this new role, the ESG business integrator. This person isn't in a silo. They're embedded inside the business units, translating big ESG goals into day-to-day business decisions. This is the person everyone is looking for, and they are incredibly hard to find. And that really gets to the absolute heart of it. This isn't just an HR headache, a tough role to fill. This is a structural, company-wide capability gap. It's like the very wiring of the organization is missing a crucial connection, the one that links sustainability goals directly to business value. So, you might be wondering, why is this crisis hitting so hard right now? Well, the simple answer is that over the last few years, the entire game has just completely changed. The demands being placed on companies have evolved at a truly breathtaking speed. I mean, just think about this timeline. 5 years ago, ESG basically meant putting out a nice, glossy sustainability report once a year. That was it. Fast forward to today, and now companies are expected to provide hard, verifiable, audit-grade data. We're talking about data that has to survive the same level of scrutiny as their financial records. That is a seismic shift, right? From just communicating to being held truly accountable. And frankly, most companies just weren't built for that. Okay, so this massive shift in what's expected has created some pretty deep fractures inside organizations. Let's zoom in and pinpoint exactly where companies are feeling the most pain from this talent gap. This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? The problem is, companies don't just need ESG people, they need ESG plus people. You need ESG plus finance, someone who can actually put a dollar value on climate risk. You need ESG plus supply chain to guarantee ethical sourcing from the field to the factory. And you absolutely need ESG plus tech to build the data pipelines that are ready for an audit. Every single one of these roles needs that rare dual fluency we talked about. And nowhere is this gap more obvious than in finance. The demand for financial-grade ESG data has literally invented a brand new, absolutely critical role, the ESG controller. Just picture it. This is a professional who is just as comfortable talking about carbon metrics as they are about cash flow statements. This role pretty much didn't exist a few years ago. And the talent pool for it? It's tiny. And if you look at the data, it tells the exact same story. Where's the talent shortage the most severe? It's not in marketing or communications, nope. It's right where the rubber meets the road, in finance and reporting, in the supply chain, and in tech. These are the departments that have to actually do the work, not just talk about it.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, we've seen where it hurts, but what are the real-world consequences of just ignoring this? What happens if companies fail to act? Well, as it turns out, the stakes could not be higher. And look, this stuff isn't theoretical. These consequences are hitting companies' bottom lines right now. Big transformation projects slow to a crawl. The cost for compliance and assurance just skyrocket. Your brand gets hammered with accusations of greenwashing. And at the end of the day, companies that can't build this kind of talent are simply going to be outmaneuvered by the ones that can.
So yeah, that's the scale of the problem. It's structural, it's urgent, and the risks are huge. But, and this is a big but, it is not unsolvable. So let's pivot and talk about the path forward. And this right here, this quote really captures the essential mindset shift that has to happen. Companies have got to stop thinking about sustainability as some separate, siloed department. They need to start treating it like a cross-functional operating system, something that runs across every single function in the business. The goal isn't just to hire a few more sustainability managers, it's to create these ESG integrators everywhere. You know, there's a perfect analogy for this that really helps you grasp the scale of the change. Think about digital literacy a decade ago. Businesses suddenly realized that digital skills weren't just for the IT folks anymore. Everyone, from marketing to finance to HR, needed to have them. Well, ESG Fluency today is the new digital literacy. It's becoming a core skill for everyone, not just a niche for a few specialists. So, okay, how do you actually build this capability inside your own organization? It really comes down to a 4-part strategy. 1, cross-train the talent you already have. Pair your sustainability experts with your business teams on real projects. 2, create brand new hybrid roles. Redesign job descriptions so they explicitly combine ESG with core business functions. 3, partner up. Work with universities and certification bodies to help shape the talent pipeline of the future. And 4, and this one is absolutely critical, it has to be led from the top. Senior leaders have to model and demand this ESG fluency themselves. Now, if companies actually take these steps, they're doing way more than just solving a problem. They're actually turning this talent crisis into a powerful and lasting competitive advantage. And ultimately, this is the choice that every single company is facing right now. You can go down one path, the reactive one, and be stuck with higher risks, rising costs, and a transformation that's just crawling along. Or you can take the proactive path, the one that leads to faster innovation, better efficiency, and most importantly, winning the deep trust of your customers and investors. It is a very clear strategic fork in the road. So when you boil it all down, the key takeaway is this. The winners of the next decade, both on an individual level and for organizations, are going to be the ones who are truly bilingual, the ones who can speak both the language of sustainability and the language of business. This isn't just about being green anymore. It's about being smart, being resilient, and being ready for what the future of business actually looks like. Because make no mistake, this transformation isn't on the horizon. It's already here. So the only real question left to ask is, will you and your organization be the ones leading it or the ones left behind, struggling to catch up?